As Daniel continues his quest to uncover the mysterious author behind the book that first captured his imagination, his curiosity begins to put not only his life, but those he loves at risk. The book, The Shadow of the Wind. The author, Carlos Ruiz Zafón. And you're listening to Lit Society.
Let's get lit!
Hello, hi readers. This is Alexis.
And this is Kari.
You're listening to Lit Society, a podcast about books and drama.
Indeed.
Kari, new location, what's going on?
Yeah, I didn't feel like setting up the studio lights, so we are here in my dining room for our Patreon exclusive episode.
Okay. Hey, y'all.
Woo woo. Come on in, friends. Team Literati, have a seat. Have a seat. There's snacks in the back. Okay. And if you're watching on YouTube or listening on, any other platform, just know you will not hear the breakdown of this book's finale. Ooh. Okay? You're only going to get the verdict. It's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. But see, this the room where it happens.
In the room where it happens.
And this is just for Patreon.
Okay, welcome, Patreon crew. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. So go to patreon.com/LitSocietyPod and go ahead and sign up. It's real cheap. I'm sorry, Alexis. Go ahead.
Real? Okay, no problem. All right, let's get into our theme of the week. The Cemetery of Forgotten Books is a hidden library few people know about. You have to know somebody to get there. It's a path. You got to mark your way, leave red ribbons or whatever. So for this week's theme, we're going to talk about secret libraries around the world.
I love that.
All right.
Oh, can we visit any of these before you start?
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
It's not that they're secret and that nobody knows about them. It's not that kind of secret.
They're private, exclusive.
Yeah, it's in the sense that they have limited access, sometimes hidden vaults, underground archives, collections so rare you need white gloves, and maybe even a PhD to turn the page.
Oh, is one of them in the British Museum?
Can you think of a library with a rare collection?
I'll let you go. The show.
No, but that's what
that's what I was thinking of. I think there's one in the atrium of the British History Museum.
Okay.
And you have to have a reservation or permission to go inside.
Is it the, no. Well, where in Britain is this museum that you're talking about?
In London.
Okay. So this one is the Bodleian Library's restricted stacks, and they're in Oxford.
Oh, yeah, I can see that for sure.
And it's one of the oldest libraries in Europe. It has underground vaults and books you can't check out. It's older than the British Library.
Wow.
It's got a secrecy level of about a medium because the library is open to the public in part, but it has many collections that are off limits. You can visit with guided tours, and scholars can apply for access. They say that J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis were regulars at this location.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, come on, Kari. I know you know one other library-ish place that is a secret.
In Chicago?
No, not Chicago.
Oh.
Around the world.
Do I? What is it?
The Vatican. The secret archives of the Vatican.
Yeah, for sure, because Angels and Demons.
Yes,
that was an era. That was an era.
What was the era?
Dan Brown.
Okay, so actually, Dan Brown's book brought it to the fore, and it kind of opened the archives to select groups in 2010, where previously only approved academics could gain access.
Okay.
So it houses centuries of papal correspondence, royal letters, trial transcripts, including Galileo's. It's got a extremely high secrecy level. Yeah. It's not open to the general public. but vetted scholars can request access to parts of it. You can't just casually visit like your local library. And some documents, while available, are digitized for scholars, but it's limited access. It's rumored that it contains forbidden texts and wild conspiracy theories, like the Lost Gospels and coded history. There's some in the U.S. as well. This is the Library of Congress.
Oh, I didn't know that. You can't just go to the Library of Congress?
Yeah. So listen, the collection includes millions of catalog books and other print materials in 470 languages, millions of transcripts, the largest rare book collection in North America, and the world's largest collection of legal materials, films, maps, sheet music, and sound recording.
When I was younger, they used to tell us that all books ever published were housed in the Library of Congress. And we would go, oh, that can't be true. That's not even true.
Okay. All right. It's the biggest in the world. It's America's largest library and one of the biggest in the world. And many sections are not open to the public. They have a beautiful main reading room, but much of their collection is tucked away in underground tunnels and closed stacks. You can visit, but you can't just wander around. You need a reader ID and a purpose. You can't just be walking in saying, I want to do this and that.
Okay.
They say there's a secret underground storage system connected by conveyor belts. Okay. The next one is in Switzerland. It's called St. Galles Abbey Library, and it's one of the oldest and most beautiful in the world. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's the oldest medieval library in the world. The library is carefully preserved, but of course not hidden. You have to wear white gloves. Access is restricted, and books are treated like royalty.
Okay.
It says the library houses 9th century architectural plans that are the oldest known in the world, drawn without any corrections.
Wow.
Interesting. The final one is the Climactic Library, and that's in Prague, the Czech Republic.
I've always wanted to go to Prague, by the way.
Me too. So it has a stunning Baroque library with secret passages and ancient globes and rare theological texts. It's a historical monument, but it's not one that you can just prance upon and have a free-for-all. It's a guided tour, and you cannot touch the books. Cannot touch the books.
I bet they have some Kafka in there, something that actually makes sense. The only book published that's logical by him, never to be read again.
Well, that is, and like I said, it's the most beautiful library in the world. Okay.
Says who? That's subjective.
That's what they said, okay?
It
says it on their website.
Oh, I bet it do.
So it is. Okay. Just like that bookstore is considered, isn't it considered the most beautiful?
Oh, that we went to in Portugal?
Yeah.
People just be saying stuff.
Okay. They get to say it. Right. Okay. Anyway, that's it, y'all. That's it. That is our theme of the week. Shall we jump into the breakdown? Kari, are you ready for that, or we want to take a break first?
Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And yeah, let's do it.
All right. We'll come back in a second.
Hi, I'm Kari, co-host of the Lit Society podcast and avid reader just like you. And this week's episode is brought to you by our 2025 Lit Society Reading Journal. It's amazing, you guys. Let's talk about it. Sometimes I find it hard to remember my favorite quotes or plot points after finishing a book. So I wanted a journal to help me with that. And I wanted it to not just be functional, but to also be fun, contain interactive elements, and motivate me to read more and better. I couldn't find one, and so I created that exact journal journal just for you and me. The 2025 Lit Society Reading Journal is the best journal for any reader or wannabe reader. This isn't some downloadable cookie cutter PDF. It is a custom journal I created page by page. Use it to track books you're reading in real time. You can use it to easily summarize plots and write down detailed reviews. Keep track of your favorite series. Save unforgettable quotes that you want to recall later. And even challenge yourself with a diversity reading challenge. Plus, there's a fun book bingo game I designed to be shared with your favorite book club or with friends who love reading like we do. This journal makes the perfect gift for your favorite reader or yourself. I created each page to help us stay inspired and get the most out of every book we read. To grab your 2025 Lit Society Reading Journal, visit our Etsy shop or Patreon page. And let's make 2025 our best reading year ever.
So, Alexis, all those libraries, that was really cool. Thank you for that theme of the week. I noticed none of them, or one was in the U.S. Were any actually in the U.S.? None.
Yeah. No, the Library of Congress, but we do have
others.
Yeah. There's a library in Harvard, and it had, they removed it, but it had human skin covering a book, but they removed
from
it,
who?
Of course.
Whose skin was this?
It was an unknown woman.
Okay.
I think it was a common practice to do it for criminals. Take the criminals' skins and use it to cover. Mm-hmm.
While they were alive? I'm making this real dark.
You really are. But I didn't read that part. Only that they were criminals and they used their skin to cover books. So,
like they would use leather, I'm sure. So they just treated these people like animals post-mortem.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Probably. Yeah, it does.
Who knows what kind of torture devices they were using back in the day? I mean, we know, but that could be part of that. So
now they use economics. Okay. Go ahead.
Get them. Okay. Well, so are we ready to go into part 2 with a spoiler-filled deep dive of The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón?
Yeah, we're ready. Thank you for that. And thank you for darkening the mood, making it a little macabre, which is perfect for the thrilling finale of The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón.
Good. Let's hear it.
Well, listen, you remember how we left Danielle and Bea last time. Well, Danielle and Bea part ways. Before they do, Danielle tells her, Bea, I love you. If you watch and look at what I'm doing, that's what you do. Bea, I love you. And Bea goes, boy, you don't know the half of it. She like, this is trouble. And we're back. Alexis, what did you think of The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón? And would you recommend this book?
You know, it has so many characters. I was tired of being introduced to new characters. But I would say not to the extent of the Thursday Murder Club, even though it was a lot of characters.
Yeah.
And the way the story unfolds, like you mentioned last week, is a constant repetition. The story is literally being retold. Mm-hmm. Every time the story is retold, you get a new detail of information. That can be a lot. That
is one of the main complaints I saw in good reads, is that it's too repetitive, this book. And way too many characters.
Yeah, so then you come back, but that helps you stick with the story when you hear it another time.
Yeah.
Right.
And then some people are telling the truth, other people aren't. And for me, it was hard to forget Nudia's lie.
Yeah, I was like, she lied? Okay.
Yeah, like, she did. Her husband's not in jail? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's not good enough for me to remember when I got all this other stuff to remember. So when we find out he not in jail and we find out everything else that happened to Miguel, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You could have just told that though, but
yeah.
But I guess she could know, so whatever.
No. So it's interesting, and I think I would recommend it to somebody because this book is an experience.
It is.
The way it is written, it is truly an experience. I have never read a book where this story is told like 11 times before you get to the end of it. And then it's completely retold with all the details. So it's an experience. And for that, I would recommend the book. But there are a lot of characters and you have to literally remember. I was like, who was that again? Where did he fall in? I mean, include a chart. That would be helpful.
Chart. But the point where you have to include a chart to explain the story, you have already lost.
So, no, I mean the people, not the story, the people.
You are including you are suggesting that a chart be included to explain the people, to explain the story. And I'm telling you that as an author, if you need to do that, you have already lost. Perhaps rewrite for clarity.
Here, though, there is a book, and I'm reading it now, that also has a chart because it has so many characters.
Hey,
so I don't think that's not unusual. You didn't just
think of this idea. I too am reading a book with a chart and a map. And you know what I've decided? No.
But I think when these books are so detailed, it's over 500 pages. I think it's necessary. If you're introducing characters at that level and it's 500 pages, please include a description. Tell me who everybody is on the front end because it's necessary. If you got 300 pages and 11 characters, don't do it. You specifically need to write for clarity. Okay? That's what I'm going to need from you.
And part of me is saying, just rewrite. But who are you getting rid of? Are you combining Nuria and her father Isaac into one character? No, you really don't want to lose both of them. What about Miguel? I did feel like Miguel was superfluous, but then in the end, he was very valuable.
He was.
Well, what about Javier? No, you can't remove Javier. He's like the fulcrum on which all this good versus evil battle must exist. Oh, no.
Every character has value, and so they have to be included, and that is where a chart enters.
And Team Literati, I didn't even touch on every single character in the book. For example, Clara has basically like a caretaker who also takes care of the house, and this is a middle-aged woman. Maybe she's 33, and her and Fairmount fall in love, and then. Later on in the story, in order to get into the hospice, they have to basically bribe one of the old sick men there. And they make good on that, what they bribe him with at the end of the book. And then it's like, and then there's one of the henchmen that goes around with Javier has a change of heart.
Palacios.
He helps protect Danielle. And at the end of the story, he tells us no one even remembers Javier. Everyone's living a good life. There is a plaque dedicated to Javier, but it's covered by a vending machine.
So very modern.
And I wouldn't take any of these people out. I really wouldn't. They add color to the story. It's tricky.
So give us your final thoughts on our book and a verdict.
Yeah, someone in Team Literati said that this book just washes over you. If you get too caught up in the details and try to remember this, that, and the other, you can be frustrated. That's kind of what they were alluding to, and I completely agree. To me, this is a great book to take on vacation, especially if you're going to Barcelona. I felt like, or Paris. I felt like it was a great trip read, a great bookcation book. And if you can not get lost in the details, then it is a thoroughly enjoyable experience, especially if it is not on audio. Although the audio reader is good, I feel like you need the pages of a physical book or an ebook to truly understand what is happening. Because all the subterfuge, lies, and deceit get kind of muddied because they are not as shocking as the truth in any case. So that can be hard to follow. Who said what, and was that true what they said? Or should we believe this, that, and the other?
You need the pages to go back and be like, wait a minute, what? Oh, yeah. I found myself listening and also going back and reading what was said because the clarity wasn't there, though I did enjoy the reader.
Did you have a physical book or an ebook?
Yep, I got a physical book here.
Okay. Yeah, girl. I mean, I feel like I really enjoyed this book. I loved reading it. I love the fact that this author cared about each character and really helped make each character feel unique to the point where we're saying this book has way too many characters and we wouldn't remove a single one. That is a feat. It was enjoyable. I mean, if I'm going to give it a hard rating, it would be 4 out of 5 stars because it is not a perfect work by any means, but it is well above average. And if you can just enjoy the story, enjoy being with Daniel, enjoy his development and kind of, what do you call it? Like a coming of age story.
For sure.
Briggs roman, or y'all know what I'm trying to say. But that's what this is. And it is very thoughtful in the way it carries the situations in the book. So for that, I would recommend it with a caveat that there are intimate scenes between both Bea and Danielle, and then Penelope and her brother. So you should know that going in. And also some language from Fermat, which he uses to pepper his comedy.
What a character he is.
What a character. So who's your favorite character in this book?
Oh, I did have a favorite character. Who was it?
Who was it?
I think it was Fermat. I determined that yesterday. I was like, I like him. He is like the spice of life in this book.
Every scene with him is infinitely better because of him.
Absolutely. He is my favorite character. I giggle.
I also love, if you step back from the plot of this book, I love the math it uses where everything is divided and it's divided equally. What I mean by that is that we have the protagonist reading a book about Carax's life and that life being reflected back in Danielle's life. And then we have a scene, for example, with Isaac. This is when Daniel is kind of coming into his own, spending a lot of time away from his father's bookstore. And his father's like, I don't even know who you are anymore. And he leaves him that way. He leaves his father in that kind of frustrated state. When he sees Nuria's father, Isaac, crying over her and is like, it got to the point where I didn't even know her anymore. I'm going through her stuff. I can't believe she lived this life and I had no part of it. Danielle then runs home to his father and they embrace. It's just really beautiful, like how everything is mirrored. Danielle is like, Nuria, you lied because you helped Penelope's brother cover over her murder. And Danielle's only saying that because he's sick about Tomas no longer befriending him because of Bea. And later on, it's like real, where Tomas and Danielle are cordial, but they ain't really that close. But it's fine. They just in-laws. It's fine.
That makes it okay.
Yeah, but it's really thoughtful in the way it's everything in the book, every occurrence, everything that happens has a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Who was your favorite character?
Fermat, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, he just has so many little colorful.
I could read a book about him sitting in movie theaters.
Even when he in pain, he's just got something colorful to say.
He was about to die. He said, "Take me to my girlfriend's house." And they was like, "What? You got to go to a hospital. I'd rather die in her bosom." He funny. He just funny.
He's very funny. So the author is great writing. Well, let us wrap it up. Because I realize that is what you do as part of it. Meanderings.
We can meander with Team Literati. Y'all let us know what y'all thought of the book. Let us know in the comments on Patreon.
We want to know. One day I'm going to join that Patreon account. One day.
Just so y'all know, the people talking to y'all, that's just me. I'm talking to y'all.
I will get in there one day. I will join.
No, we totally believe you.
Okay, so what are we reading next week, Kari?
Oh, we are reading The Violent Conspiracy by Brendan Slocum. We are the Slocums!
And if you know that reference, please let us know in the comments below on Patreon.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening to Lit Society. We look forward to meeting up with you next week, Thursday. Lit Society is brought to you by Alexis Honoria, that's me, and Kari Herrera. Support the cause by leaving a 5-star review for our show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And leave a comment about why you absolutely love us. Oh, you could also leave a comment on Instagram, on the Facebook, or sometimes not really. And, wherever else you can leave a comment. And especially meet us and Patreon so we can spark up conversations.
Yes.
Because we love that. Kari loves it especially. I'll join you guys later. If you've enjoyed what you just heard, tell a friend about Lit Society. Visit litsocietypod.com for show notes, this month's book list, and to sign up for our amazing email newsletter. And until next time,
read something.